Hi everyone, it's Jenny Henderson from Chrysalis Business Support, and I'm here on another episode of Self Cocoon TV. And I'm delighted that I'm able to introduce and bring to you my good friend John Drysdale from NoGuru, who has decided to join me today. And I've kind of arm wrestled him into asking him to come and join me to share some great nuggets of wisdom about what John does and how he helps his clients. So John, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Jen. It's a pleasure.
Oh, as you can hear from John's accent, he's a fellow Scot. So I'm afraid you guys have got two Scots on the call today. And John has just recently moved back from Liverpool back up to Fife with his wife Fiona, and he lives in the most beautiful location and property of which he's building a training room, and I'm sure we might get around to talking about that a little bit later on, as we talk about how John helps his clients. But he's got a lovely river that runs in the bottom, and John started doing some videos which are tales from the riverbank. So what I'm going to be doing later is popping all those details in the chat box and the comment boxes so that you guys can find those videos and follow the tales from the riverbank as he shares some nuggets of information. So John's been running NoGuru for 17 years, since 2004. So we have a wealth of experience today for him to be able to share with us. So John, tell me a little bit about NoGuru. How did you get started, and what does it do? How does it help people?
How I got started was I was in corporate life, and like many people faced redundancy, and I thought, what do I do now? And I had that sort of drive back from Milton Keynes, I think I was in, back to Liverpool. And by the time I'd got back home, I decided, I've had enough of this corporate life. I'm going to do something else. Had no idea what I was doing, obviously. Just set up as a freelance trainer, doing some sort of training, and went from there. But I was very fortunate to get some good clients fairly soon, and just established the company, and we've been running it very successfully for the last 17 years. So we do a broad range of development type programs and courses. I mainly work these days in higher education, so a lot for universities. Still do some corporate work, but universities and higher education is my target market. And they ask me to do lots of things, from team development, the kind of team away days, and sometimes we can bring in companies who do the abseiling and all that exciting stuff. But I really enjoy facilitating teams, like strategy days, and getting them to think about how they can work more effectively together and how they can achieve their goals. Through to staff development, a lot of staff development sessions. During the pandemic, there's been quite an interest in doing stuff online. Wide range of sort of communication skills, influencing, presentation skills, which have been great fun. So those sort of informal sort of learning events, and then right through to ILM, which you see behind me, which was formerly the Institute of Leadership and Management, but ILM are one of the leading qualification bodies in the UK. And we are an accredited centre for ILM. So sometimes my clients say, can you do an ILM program? And that's either in leadership and management. Today I've been doing some assignments with people who are doing a presentation online as part of their portfolio. And that's been great fun hearing from them today. So leadership and management, and coaching and mentoring. So it can be the really formalized learning right through to this very light touch, 2-hour sessions or 1-hour session.
So you mentioned something really interesting there in terms of obviously that we've had to change tax over the course of the last 18 months. More things are being done online. What challenges has that presented leaders in business? How have they had to adapt, and what have they had to be aware of in doing things online as opposed to where they were face to face in the past?
Yeah, it's still a big ongoing debate, particularly in my clients, the universities, are obviously looking to get back to some sort of face-to-face. You get students back on campus. So what we're finding is a lot of them are on campus, but a lot of them are not. So you'll find that some of the professional services teams are actually working remotely. And actually, hearing from someone yesterday that their spaces have been taken up now by classrooms because they've moved out of their office. They're thinking, actually, we need more teaching space. So So that's going to introduce some, I think, challenges going forward. I think for me, the whole kind of team cohesion thing will be interesting, because some people are really enjoying the online working from home. It suits their lifestyle. Other people hate it, and they can't wait to get back. But I think that kind of social cohesion of the team is going to be the real challenge. I mean, I see going forward possibly a lot more team development in thinking, well, okay, how is this going to work for us as a team? Training online's been it's been great. It's been interesting. Like everyone else, I was hit hard at the start of the pandemic. Everything was cancelled, and then we quickly moved to the online environment. It is challenging because you've got less. I think you've got less time. Before we're doing half day and 1 day sessions, and now we're sort of condensing them into a couple of hours. So that presents a few challenges in terms of how can I get content across to people, and what ways can we do that differently? But I've found that by and large, people have been really engaged. It's worked really well, actually.
And what type of things are you saying to leaders? So what sort of challenges are a leader coming to you? And if you were to give some advice to a leader at the moment in business, what type of things would you be saying to them about how to make sure they've got that team cohesion and that team development happening?
Yeah, I think for me, it starts a lot with listening. It's all about listening with empathy and an understanding that our world isn't someone else's world, and what may not be a challenge to us may be a huge challenge to other people. And we saw it because people that had to do homeschooling, for example. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know how someone did it, and both partners working at home, and kids at home, and they both hold down a full-time job, and just really admired what they did there. So people are in different circumstances, and for a leader, it's a lot of it is about listening to people. I think also what comes in because of the online arrangement is trust, and we have to be more trusting that people will get on with what they're doing. But I do feel for leaders, because it's trying to strike that balance of checking in but not checking up on people. I think that's a kind of a difficult thing for them to wrestle with. But it is that just having good conversations, and always for me comes back to the conversation that they have with their people, but primarily listening more than talking.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting you saying that with building that relationship. I know a couple of people who actually started new jobs in lockdown, so they hadn't even met the teams that they were working with, or people were being interviewed online, and therefore they hadn't actually even met the person face to face that they were bringing into the team. And again, that must present some interesting challenges, and I don't think that's going to disappear, is it? That's still going to sort of carry on in certain aspects.
Yeah, that's true. I've had quite a few delegates have been, they've started the job. They haven't properly met their colleagues. They've met them online. So it's a very strange environment, and it's kind of where all the kind of organizational cultures and values and things sort of like they completely turn on their head, aren't they? Because we're operating a kind of new model of working. So we maybe need to revisit things like our values, for example, and how we do stuff around here. So I think there's a great opportunity for people like ourselves, Jenny, going forward, helping teams to work through this. And I do think it helps have an external facilitator in on that kind of keeps things on track and can ask the right sort of questions. But I do see what as we go forward, this kind of hybrid model that might emerge. I think there's going to be a lot of work done in teams to say, how do we get this right? How is it that we work together, and what's changed for us? So I think that's going to be dead important.
So what aspects of when you're working with a team, what drives you? What gives you that excitement? What happens that you see that you go, that's why I do what I do. That's why I love doing this.
Yeah, I love seeing the passion that develop. When you dig deep and you find out what people really want from the workplace. I mean, just before lockdown, I was with a team, and we were doing some of the relationship building stuff that you and I both do, and they have quite a complex role within health research. And when I asked them what they did, we do an exercise saying, "What do you do?" And they described themselves as admin. That was the thing. We're kind of, it's like what we do is admin. And then when we did a couple of exercises and we drilled down a bit deeper. And then what I discovered was they actually have this really important role. They're like the cog in the whole, wheel of research, and they connect clinicians with patient groups and funders and drug companies, and they're sort of like the hub of all that activity, and they make research happen across the UK. So to actually make the health of the nation better. But the initial response was, well, we're in admin. And, we really started to explore that, and now in terms of the difference that they make, and they were really energized by it. And I think it helped them, give them confidence. That's probably the word, confidence is the thing I like seeing in people, that they had the confidence to go out and deal with some of these stakeholders, because some of, dealing with some quite senior clinicians and stuff, and say, well, I'm just an admin person and you're a clinician, and all that sort of stuff. But it gave them the confidence to say, well, what we do is really, really important, and this is how we should present ourselves.
Yeah.
So I love that stuff. I love seeing the confidence emerge from people. It's a hard thing to quantify.
Absolutely, but it's their perception, isn't it? Their perception was sat at one stage, and just by shifting their mindset and shifting and getting them to look at it from a different perspective, they were able to say, well, actually, the perception that we had was, we're not just down here and we're dealing with people. Actually, we're up here. We're at the same level because we're pulling that all together.
Yeah, you're making this important stuff happen. That's without
Absolutely.
you, that doesn't happen. So
Brilliant. Yeah. Amazing. So, John, what's next? Tell how could someone engage with you? What type of things are you up to? What type of things are you looking for that we might be able to help you with?
Couple of things. I'm always looking for people in universities. I love working in the unis, I have to say. Just the ethos of education and young people is one of my kind of values these days. Is about the opportunities that we give our young people. So working in university is just such a thrill. So I engage with HR and training people in universities and people in student employability as well. We can do things there. So that's on the agenda. More of that, and also our coaching and mentoring program. So we run a very successful program for people who want to either become a coach, or it could be like coaches who want that sort of accreditation. They want a formal qualification, which we do through ILM, and I really enjoy doing it. It's one of the best programs, and the best bit for me is actually when we send the certificates out and they've actually completed. It's another thrill for me to do that. So we have a program starting in September. NoGuru.net is our website, or email me john.drysdale@noguru.net, and I can give you some more information on what we do there.
That's amazing. So guys, I will pop all those details that John's just mentioned in our chat box below, and on the comment section. And if you are looking to upskill yourself by going and training to be a coach and going through that program, then there's opportunities available for you. And likewise, if you are in the university area or know someone in the university area, John is always looking to help those organizations to work better together and build those teams around them and get their visions and take the future of our country forward, I suppose. Absolutely. Really, isn't it? Absolutely, and develop everybody. Yeah. So John, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really enjoyed having you on. It's been great. I'm sure we will get you back on. I'm sure there's lots that you and I could probably
I'd love to do that.
Talk about. We'll try and get you on a future episode again. But thank you so much for today. And guys, I hope you've got some nuggets out of what we've talked about today. And I look forward to seeing you again on a future Self Cocoon episode.